Okay, now we are now recording it. Departments will have to change the schedule because we are only allowed to meet once a week, at least 1 hour. So that's why our final schedule is every Tuesdays at 9 in the morning. However, because this is a merged schedule, your other classmates, actually someone inquired from my Google Classroom, pwede ba siya na kung saan daw sila nga dili ka-attend because they have a conflicting schedule. So that's the reason why I will be recording the session so that we will no longer be changing the schedule. Kay basig, if I give way to them, kamo na po niya ang ma-conflict. So magubot na po ang kinabuhi, magubot ang kalibutan, magdala na po na og mga unnecessary stress on our end. Okay, so welcome to the session. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and this is living in the IT era. I hope you watched the video that I sent to you. Um, this session is actually an informal session. I will not particularly handle. I will not particularly deliver a formal lesson because that is going to be delivered to you via the learning materials that I will be posting via our Google Classroom. So katong learning materials, that's the formal lesson already. And every session, we will facilitate it just so we can clarify and maybe add supplements, add um, additional uh, discussions related to the lesson, because we also welcome the fact that not everyone is adept to ICT terms and etc. Although I have mentioned this from the video, some of the terms have supposed to have been discussed to you back in your senior high school years, because I know you have courses called empowerment technologies and media and information literacy, because I also taught that courses ever since senior high school began. So the first lesson, the first discussion that I gave, first video I think that I shared to you, ask you to research. This is particularly very easy task, and I hope everyone submitted and did their uh, uh, role in submitting it, because the activity is so easy. All you have to do is relate to the world of computing industry and then look for various domains where computing industry has also made uh, influence or impact in such a way where transformation happened. Excuse me for a while. Okay. Do you see something on your screens right now? Please type yes. Sige, thanks. Right. So going back to the discussion, I hope it's now clear. I mean, the objective of the course, the nature of the course, and the timeline, the framework that I have presented, that one. I hope that's already clear on your end, unless you have questions about the nature of the course. You may now raise your other concerns before we proceed to um, entertaining or giving you supplements, additional lessons and discussions about the tasks that I have given. For now, please raise your concerns, other concerns that you wish to raise so that we can attend to it. You may just type it. If wala, please give me or send me a feedback. You may type none, None. Again, the one that is being shown on your screens right now. Don't worry about that because as I have always uh, I have been mentioning on the post, we will I will collect that, surely collect that later after we end the session. I have already prepared the link and I will just I'm ready to send it to all of you. Other than that, do we have any concerns? Because I also have concerns. Again, if you have no concern, please type none so that I am well informed whether I must stay or continue to our lesson. Sige, okay. A couple of concerns. Um, I have very important concerns. Lessons that we learned last semester. By the way, first years batatanan dire because I have not checked your backgrounds yet. Although I understand, I'm sure you do not come from the College of Computing Studies. Mga si Teas ba ni siya dire or si BE? Kinsa may mga first years ba? Kinsay ano din mga bag-og yun as in transferee. Danica, okay. So nay isa, nay duha. Okay. Um, do not unenroll, quote unquote, your presence in your respective Google Classrooms. You are only looking for unnecessary problems. So along the way, until ma-final siya, ayaw intawon og unenroll, ayaw gawas sa Google Classroom because at the end of the day, you will blame your teachers for not being able to record your tasks. Okay, I don't know where this culture came from pero daghang students mukalit og hawa sa Google Classroom. Dayon i-blame dayon ng teacher nganong wala na record. Kay ni hawa man ka dili makita ng imuhang identity dito. Walay mo refer dito ba sa imuhang files. So ayaw hawa sa imuhang Google Classroom until you get your final grade because your generation is so thirsty of ano uh, grades. Okay, bahalag ano na lang, no? Grades gihapon. And we all have these fake news strolling around social media, noting as if sa to mga quote ninyo nga we are only answering module will not, we are only answering modules, we're not learning. Remember, you're also responsible of your learning process. That's why you need to ask questions and you need to engage. Number two, so ayaw gawas ha sa Google Classroom until mahuman ni ato ang kalaki ani until final period. Next reminder, um, lesson we learned from last semester, there are so many students out there nga kung dili nimo i-inform ini ka final period nga wala dai sila na submit nga task, dili pud mo lihok. I hope that will not happen in this class. Someone just answered me yesterday, hi sir, kuan ka na nakalimot manggod ko sir. Okay, so I hope everyone will be responsible um, about our obligations as students. Okay, these are just petty reminders. Number three, uh, actually, I allow late submissions. Wala problema because we are called to be lenient naman this semester, this school year because of the pandemic. But I hope we don't abuse people. We don't abuse leniency. Okay, so just because the Commission on Higher Education called us to be lenient does not mean you forget you do not submit your tasks. Dili siya buti pasabot nga lenient, pasar na lang yun tanan. O walay tasks na submit, mano grade yun ka or ma-fail. Okay? So I'm reminding kay first year pa man tano. So ako lang na siyang i-remind. Another is so buti pasabot ana, here's my piece of advice. Just settle your prelim tasks. No? Inig ka prelim exam, isettle na imong prelim tasks. Ayun ang hulat og final nga paninglan pa ka og kay magkarakara naman dayon taana, dayon ang quality sa ato ang work, dili na siya acceptable. Okay? Another is kinsa may dili pa kaayo mo kabalo mo navigate og Google Classroom and Google Meet di ani. Ayaw lang kaulaw. Romy, second year. Okay. Kinsay dili pa kaayo kabalo mo navigate og og Google Classroom and Google Meet. Ayaw lang kaulaw. And kung dili pa kabalo, unsa may concern nga dili kabalo sa Google Classroom and Google Meet? Wala? Okay, this is one of the awkward moments in online sessions because it now begins like everyone is so silent. Are we still present? Please type yes. Are we still okay? Wala pa ka pamahaw? How about the others? There are, I think, 12 students. Okay lang, Danica. Oo, okay na siya. Ano lang yun siya. Just continue to look for a spot where signal is. Okay, kabalo ka. Okay. Sige, so isa pa. Okay, katulad ang klaro na ako ha, dili buti pasabot nga wala kay task, pasado ka. And then, this is already tertiary education. This is college education. Um, Personal hangyo, di na ta magtagad nga kita pay gukdon, kita pay i-remind. You already know what you are missing. You already know the tasks that you missed to submit. But like I said, basically we are lenient about accepting your task. You can always make habol without difference of points. So dili ra siya makuhaan kung medyo na late ka. But if possible within the prelim period, humana lang siya. Just finish the task, just submit the task within that timeline. Ayaw na siya apabta og finals because that's so irresponsible already. I hope that is clear. Is it clear? Can I type yes para na tay agreement di ani naka-record ra ba ni so I can scan the names who type yes. Good. Sige, so for the first task, computing industry and other domains, do we have questions about it? Did we clearly understand? Did we clearly get a clear perspective what computing industry is and what do I mean when we say or when I said other domains? Do we have concerns about it? Kung wala, can I invite people to type your just a sentence of what you found out based on what you got? So in terms of transforming other domains because of computing industry, and basically this is a very cliche topic already because it's been, it's so obvious already that we need computing industry, but I'm just interested, just so we can validate what you have found. Please type just a sentence or two. Si tawag ni para ma-validate lang nato ang inyuhang answers. There are 12 students. I will expect for 12 responses. Just type a sentence or two. Just state what you have found out. Super duper mega ultra summary of what you have found out in terms of the contribution of computing industry in other domains. When we say domains, areas such as the education or academic organizations. Pwede siya agriculture. Pwede siya computing industry in entertainment industry. Pwede po siya computing industry in business or trade. Pwede po siya computing industry in even religious activities. Pwede. And other domains. I'll give you 2 minutes, 1 minute to 2 minutes to type your super duper mega ultra summary. Just state what you have found out, and so we can use it as a starting point of the discussion this morning. I will be waiting 1 to 2 minutes. Just type it. I will expect 12 responses. No, hindi pala 12. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. Pero checking on the our attendance, there were 15 students who responded. Maning 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maning upat. Sige. Sige. I will be waiting 1 to 2 minutes. I need your super duper mega ultra summary of what you found. Contribution of computing industry in other domains. Just type your responses. We have concerns about. Okay, so we now receive quite a couple of responses already. Some of it are very technical, while other responses are very personal and very simple in nature. We have here um, treating computing industry as a weapon, changing the world better, blah blah blah. So we can able to communicate every person we wanted to. It's the bridge of having strong relationship of all industries. Okay. This will lead to our lesson called digital globalization. It's going to be discussed to you on the midterm period. No? So the our ability to trade and our ability to exchange information and services better this time because of our digital resources led to the transformation of globalization, which is now called digital globalization. Kasi ang mga valuable products karon, people are now digital goods. So sa una, a couple of years ago, giant companies are production-oriented companies. Okay, these companies are multi-billion dollar companies. They matter in the game of market, okay, or business. Okay, so these are um, examples of product or production-oriented companies or product-oriented companies are kanang mga Coca-Cola, Unilever, blah blah blah. But if you come to research, if you look for trends and news out there, key players have now joined the game of the world of businesses or the world of markets, no? So naano yung mga additional companies that do not really produce physical goods or physical products. Rather, they produce services. Okay, so dili lang production-oriented companies karon ang key players sa market. We now have companies like Facebook, Google, and etc. Okay, and these are digital uh, companies. Okay, they do not really sell, kumbaga, wala gyud na sila gibaligya ba na physical product. Although, ang Google, they also joined the smartphone market. Okay? So, expanding their power, their market as well, their presence in the market as well. So naapo na sila smartphone. Pixel at ang pangalan ato. Okay, and also that also led to the rise of digital goods as well, physical digital goods. Okay, kumbaga, and atay mga smartphones na dayon. And you know who are the key players of that industry. We also have here, medyo technical ni siya. If you can, please simplify this. A variety of enterprise and its miles used to manner records in all elements of commercial enterprise corporation. I don't quite get it. Dulaw, business domain, okay. Uh, One key term mentioned here is technological innovations. We need it because the data that we consume every day also grows. Okay, and if you come to think of it, other because smartphone industry is part of technological innovation. So if you come to think of it and observe around, and I know you have been observing around because you are keen to digital goods, na yung mga evolution ang ato ang mga smartphones karon. Diba? So ang iyang especially sa storage and power. So ang hardware karon dili na siya issue, no? Kasi nagkabarato ang devices. Okay, entertainment industry as well, film and TV industry, cameras, microphones, other equipment used in industry are being made with better capabilities to capture, edit, broadcast, and content. And by the way, part of the innovation as well related to this one is the streaming culture, the new wave of television. No? So if you noticed, when ABS-CBN was denied of their franchise, they transferred to the digital world. Okay, so that will also be included as well in the whole context of our prelim subject. No? So thereby changing our lifestyle. Okay. Kay kung ano man siya. And also, ano pod, ang kaning Netflix. Okay, so naana siya mga digital versions. Okay? Uh, Computing industry, like tourism industry, tourism activities like mga jobs, sir. Kay na blessment tawag daghan. Yeah, I think I mentioned that on my video. Yes, yes. But what else other than tourism industry? Because technically they're different industries. It's just that our tourism industry right now takes advantage, uses computing industry as well to raise awareness to people who might be attracted to visit the tourist spot. No, and also again on the business side with the tourism industry, they now have apps and websites where prospects can book in advance should they want to visit the tourist spot or the spot. I found out that computing industry helps a lot in different domain, especially education, because mostly nowadays students and teachers use gadgets such as cell phone, blah 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 blah. Okay, but this is a good point, Lionel. But and I know you can agree on this. The uh, the enemy though is the responsibility of now doing our tasks alone. And that's why concerns about quote unquote mental health issues was raised by the experts of that domain, of that area, because students have now been kind of quote unquote alone while doing their jobs. And I know you can relate to this. No, and that's awkward. That's so ironic because back in the days when pandemic is still not here, many students wish to end the class early. Many students do not come to their classes, wish that classes will be uh, ended soon, and just rely on submitting the tasks at home. And now that we are in the pandemic, students again are complaining because they want face to face. So I guess that will project a human nature. We don't really know what we want. We don't really have contentments and that's ironic, and I think you can agree on that if you just think about it. Sanayon here, lives easier, okay, more personal, personal avenue, no problem to that because that's without a doubt correct. We also have here a need many domains like for the business, okay, people may be able to access different websites that are helpful, blah 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 blah. Okay, and by the way, with establishing your business, because back in the days when e-com, we call it electronic commerce, and that we will discuss next module sa ano na siya sa midterm kay ano man ta sa midterm economy business. Before businesses must be able to build a website, and websites cost money. Okay, they require web developers. And these are people from our discipline, from the computing side, who know how to build websites. But now, because of Facebook, free platforms can now allow businessmen, entrepreneurs to build or establish their presence in the business world without really paying much. Because 'di ba sa Facebook free man siya. I hope you are listening up to now. I hope wala rin natulog yan na. Free man kasi ang Facebook mag-establish ka og page and you can put all your kung si tawag ani products or items nga ibutang dito. Pero natin strategy nga bayaran nimo for ads. Para ang imong post ma-prioritize siya, no? Para sige siya gawa sa timeline sa imong friends. So, if you want that service, if you want that priority, that thing, then money will be involved because you have to pay for it. Okay. We have here Romy. Blah blah blah. Absolute best time history of the world to follow your passion. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So In terms of accessing a lot of information, that will be also included on our topic for the pre-final period, because we will talk about Data Privacy Act, social media regulations, because of fake news roaming around our social media. No, so naana siya supposed to be, people, kids. Naana siya supposed to be sa inyong media and information literacy, how to assess a site if it is authentic or not. Okay? Kasi ang mga daghang karon nga mag-share information that are not necessarily true agad. No? So we don't validate sa tawagan niyo. We don't validate questions. We don't have time to read anymore. And that's part of validating whether the source is legit or not. So for example, ang naka-headline lang is Monday holiday. Ang focus agad Monday holiday. Yan di ay to prank ready ay, because actually that was a post a year ago. So that's part of also being responsible as a netizen. Okay, so we will talk about that in the pre-final period under the topic information age and government. Because naatay mga regulations, naatay mga upcoming balaod, pareha ng Social Media Regulation Act, whereby our social media use will now be regulated. Meaning sa regulated, monitored, and controlled. We have here another storing, retrieving, transmitting data. Oh, this is just a definition, but I want a specific answer. How other industries or how computing industry transforms other industries. We have here Donnell, based upon smart objects, blah, blah, blah. All these innovations have rapidly evolved in our system, and because of this, it is very useful for all the students. Medyo ano no, medyo wide kayo ang kuan, dili siya specific no, but I'd like to talk about smart objects. Because of the pandemic, some countries now rely on artificial intelligence slash robots. No? Kay dili man sila pwede mahimong source sa virus unless na over na gyud ng coronavirus, tanas na robot, ambot na lang matapos na gurong kalibutan. But anyway, some countries have now uh, been beginning to develop these assistants because of the need, no? Because of the need to continue processes, because we cannot just stop. Okay, we cannot just we cannot just end the economy. We cannot just stop economic activities, or else the world will also stop. We can't do it. We can't just allow that to happen. No? Kaya na yung mga industries na kinahanglan mo lihok, or else ma-affected ang mga ekonomiya sa nasod. Ang effect pagit ana kita na dayon mga tao. Okay, we have here Mary last like same kind of domain, education, agriculture, tourism. Oh, I think I just mentioned it, but yeah, I would appreciate if we if we ano si tawagan eh, identify a specific answer. So some students in this session did not give an answer. Okay lang, sige. Pero sa susunod, kasi supplements insight based kasi ang kanisya nga lesson, no? Ano siya, daghagtabi ba, no? Aron meaningful ato ang discussion sunod, I need you to read your because that's how things supposed to happen. I need you to read your assignment. Can we kill the culture nga igo lagi copy and then submit? Copy, submit. Can you also read it? Just a paragraph of it and just try to relate. Try to relate the contents of it, so that when we facilitate an online session, our discussion will become meaningful. Okay. Um, yeah, I hope we can. I hope we can do it. No? Just because it's a minor subject does not mean we just don't, exert effort doing it. But thank you for the responses. Last point of this session right now is on the module 1 lesson 1 tasks. Do we have questions about it? Again, module 1 lesson 1 tasks. Do we have questions about it? Everyone, I think you have submitted it already. Let me check. Last time I checked, there were 13 students who submitted it. Do you have questions about Module 1, Lesson 1? Focusing on the computing industry side. In terms of its contents. Okay, so nakuha ra ang content sa Module 1, Lesson 1. It's about the computing industry. So again, based on the video that I have shared, we need to talk about it because that's the highlight of the course. Okay? Teka lang ha. Do you have some more concerns about policies in our class? Pasensya sa iyo, pangutana o concern because your generation do not speak. Dili kayo mo dili mo tingog dayon na ay issue, na ay problema. So maningog ta ha kung naay question, naay validate, tingog in town kay aron na to ang ma-answer. Yup, 13 students submitted it. I'm now checking.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sa ako, sir, since gahapon pa man ko nakasulod sa classroom din. Pangutana ang sir. Mo pa gani siya ang first nga activity nako, sir. Sinsya lang, sir, kay sapat.
Oh, okay ra gyud, wala problema, Romy. Wala problema. Actually, ang first activity was katong sa video. Natoy link if you Romy, if you check our Google Classroom, na-added toy video nga gihatag nako nga link. And then nato siya task. Mo ni siya kaning ato ang katong akong gipa-type karon domain. I-collect nako to siya, yatag nako ang link karon, i-post nako sa Google Classroom. Dayon ang first formal activity gyud is katong Module 1 Lesson 1. Nakit-an to siya nimo sa Google Classroom? Nakit-an ba nimo?
Lahi po ni siyang answer katong kaning about sa topic nato karon.
Bali duha siya kabuok ako ang duha kabuok na ato ang buhaton kumbaga. Ang first is katong computing industry and other domain. Kani siya kaning naa sa inyong screens karon. How does it transform other domain? So you just pick up other areas or domain. So is there a transformation brought by IT to agriculture? If naamang gani, then pick that up. That's the first activity. Ang second, wala to siya na gi-post gyud nga format kay naman to siya sa video. Ang second is katong naa sa Module 1 Lesson 1. Kani siya Nakita na ko ha, wait lang. Manangit ko daan ni Danica akong i-display imuhang work, Danica ha. Wait lang ha.
Okay, sir.
Kani siya. Mao ni siya ang first gyud nga formal. Kay naamang gyud ni siya sa naamang gyud ni siya sa module. Na siya sa learning material. Ang katong first na gipangayo, preparatory to siya. Okay na, Romy?
Okay na, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, ha.
Sige. Again, I'm reminding everyone, you can still settle your missed tasks along the way. No problem. Pero please also help your teachers. Your teachers are also persons, human beings. We also experience stress, especially this semester nga og dili wala nimo gi-approach ang bata, wala pa pud siya nagkarak-karak. Wala, okay lang pud sa iya hapod. So I'm reminding everyone, this goes out to everyone and I'm serious about this. Okay ra kayo mohabol, wala koy gi-specify ana nga certain deduction. Pero dili na ko palabot pareha last semester nga final wala pa ning wala ning submit. Sige lang, I will give you feedback every one of you kada term, kada period. So that means after prelim period, I'll give you updates who did not submit, who submitted their works, and then another update on midterm, prelim, and pre-final and final para kami pod maano pod namo siya. Ang impact magud ana, just so you know, aron lang pud ta makabalo, ang impact ana sa yung teachers, dili mi ma-cleared. Pag dili mi ma-cleared, bote pasabot, wala pa mi ka-submit sa grades. In an employee setting and inyong parents makasabot ani or kinsa mang nanarbaho ani di ani dili sa ingon nga nawong mig kwarta pero og dili man gud ni ma-cleared, dili mi kadawat sa amo ang salary for that particular term. Oo, may tag makaon ng hangin, okay ra. Oo. So inana siya atong impact ha. Ato lang likayan nga a personal na nga discussion ha, but aron lang well, inato lang nga discussion ba aron lang klaro lang pud ang ato ang we also have sana siya personal discussions about real matters that matter to both ends. So kana lang siya. Wala tay problema, ano lang i-apas lang. Yeah, so mo ni siya ang first formal module. Formal lesson. I mean task. I'm stuttering. Okay. So just submit it. I hope the session today is clear. We will have more meaningful session. Mas formalize siya kasi karon preparatory pa man ta. First mabangod na ko ning meeting sa inyo ha. We will have a formal setup and sessions pa along the way because we have new topics. Please wait for module 1, lesson 2. I will be posting it if not today, tomorrow. And same thing with what I shared sa video, you are always given a week to finish it. Again, wait for my post sa module 1, lesson 2. I'm gonna post it either today or tomorrow. Okay, I think that would be all. I will not waste your time anymore because I still have a class. Stay safe and thank you for your presence today. Nagdait and see you around next time. Bye-bye. You may now leave the session.